A titan of U.S. politics planning to step down, Nancy Pelosi says she's not going to run again for another term in 2026.
She's a former House Speaker, we know that, the first woman, by the way, and one of the most powerful and consequential lawmakers to ever serve in Congress, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. The Hills in the Know columnist Judy Kurtz here to continue to scratch the surface of Pelosi's legacy, the one that she ultimately is going to leave behind in Congress.
Yes, well, I thought we should travel back in a time machine, if you will. 1987, the year that Nancy Pelosi entered Congress for the first time. So 1987, we have the first disposable camera hit store shelves from Fuji. We have Three Men and a Baby, the biggest movie of the year. And Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles, playing every radio station that you turn to. And Nancy Pelosi, of course, enters Congress and will be there for almost 40 years now, an incredible career.
And she does it after raising 5 kids, which already tells you she's tough.
Oh, yeah, if you can raise 5 kids alone, like, you don't need the congressional career to prove that you're tough. But yeah, she waited till later in life to enter the political scene. She was 47 years old, which is ancient, and well, maybe by Congress standards, not so ancient. But she waited until she had raised her children and then entered Congress.
So the first bill signed by President Obama, who entered the White House in the midst of her first speakership run, was the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, which empowered women to challenge pay disparities between the genders for doing the same jobs. She was a titan when it came to equal rights in the House and making sure women got their fair due. But that wasn't the only thing that she did. She was a master negotiator, and you can talk to Republicans and Democrats because they both think that. And just think about what we're talking about with the shutdown, the ACA. That's not a law unless Nancy Pelosi gets things done.
Yeah, and she referred to that as one of her proudest accomplishments while in Congress. She essentially said she would do anything, go jump over any fence, make anything happen in order to get that legislation pushed through Congress, which she eventually did with President Obama. And she also understood the way Washington works, and she understood that you have to fundraise, that you have to network. I've heard reporters say in an endearing way that Nancy Pelosi would go to the opening of an envelope. That's how she was such a fixture on the D.C. scene. She was everywhere, every fundraiser, every event representing California.
Her staffers would tell you she struggled to tell people no at times and wanted to be there.
Yeah, and she would get very little sleep, according to her staff as well. 4 hours when she was speaker, and then I think she pushed it up to 5 hours when she stepped down from the role of speaker in 2023, which in itself is really unusual to have that kind of power here in D.C. and then to step back from that role and stay in Congress in a lesser role. But she was mentoring Hakeem Jeffries, House Minority Leader, and really brought him up through the House. He spoke out about her retirement and what it meant to him.
It's been the honor of my life to be able to serve with her, to be mentored by her. She's an amazing colleague, and the country is better off today because of what Nancy Pelosi has done during her decades of public service.
So, you know, it's so interesting that even Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying very positive things about Nancy Pelosi and what a powerhouse she was, and that the Republicans have a lot to learn from her. But Nancy Pelosi learned a lot from her father. She came from a political family. A lot of people don't know this. We think of her as a San Franciscan, but she's a Maryland girl. You know,
yeah, she grew up in Baltimore, of course, locally. Her dad, as you mentioned, was in politics. He was the mayor of Baltimore, was a congressman as well. So she grew up in this sort of political dynasty, and then, of course, built her own political dynasty as speaker. I think for Democrats now, with her stepping down, and it's not a shock, she's 85 years old, that this time would come. They're really at a crossroads, especially in the midst of their big electoral wins this week in New Jersey and Virginia and then New York City, of which way is the party going to go? Is it going to go in this centrist way that some of the candidates like Spanberger, like Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey have gone, or is it going to go more of like the Mamdani direction of the left-wing part of the party? So Nancy Pelosi is stepping back at a time that the Democrats are really trying to figure it all out.
I think she would say, regardless of the direction, you better have the votes.
You better have the votes, and that she was the queen of whipping the votes.
She could count for sure. Judy, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.